Welcome to the introduction of On Writing. It's a new video series by the Military Writers Guild that we hope will give you an opportunity to hear direct from military writers about their experiences and their latest work and the process in their writing. My name is Christopher Ingram. I'm president of the Military Writers Guild and also an officer in the United States Army. I joined the Guild about 6 years ago, right after its founding in 2014, and I've served on the board of directors now for 3 years. Over the last several years, the Guild has grown into a nonprofit organization with members really all over the world writing, sharing their ideas, and growing the military writing community. The mission of the Guild is to empower military writers. We're trying to help you hone your craft, share your ideas, elevate the discourse in military writing. Mil Twitter gets a lot of complaints, but if you look at it, if you look behind it, you see that there are some great ideas being shared, not only about leadership, about how to overcome some of the experiences we've had, but how to move things forward as well. And that's really what's been exciting about the military writing community over the last several years. The members of the Guild, they represent a diverse community of practice. We've got service members and veterans from land, air, maritime forces, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, United States, and other countries as well around the world. But we've also got civilian analysts. We got journalists, we got historians, we got scholars that work and write in the military ecosphere. Because although writing on the military is kind of central to our purpose, it's the current or previous service in the military is actually not a prerequisite for membership in the Guild. The variety of our members' experiences, it's expressed through novels, memoirs, poems, podcasts. You've got academic and literary journals, but we've also got some speculative fiction, hard facts, history, and it's the military. So we've got some humor, and we've also got some tragedy. If you follow us on Twitter or Facebook, you probably know our members. You've probably seen their work. You've seen their ideas, familiar with the Military Writers Guild as a platform, but you may not know as much about the Guild itself. And that's why part of the reason I wanted to share this video with you guys is to kind of understand a little bit about who we are, but also to understand that it's not about the Guild. For us, it's about the writers. It's about their experiences, about their ideas, and it's about empowering them. And so that's what we're trying to do with this platform, the On Writing series. Our members are literally all over. If you're in the military and you're familiar with Dr. Mann, or are you familiar with some of the platforms they've built? You're familiar with Strategy Bridge. Some of the founders of Strategy Bridge are some of the same people that founded the Military Writers Guild, and that's why you see such a community that they're building there and providing a platform that's really elevating the discussion across the military about strategy. On leadership, you've got military leader who kind of started things out, and then company leader and the field grade leader, Josh Powers, who kind of came along as well and have created some great platforms and great communities for leaders at those different levels. Others like Joe Byerly, who was one of the founders of the Guild, started from the Green Notebook, which has grown into a great online platform for military writers to discuss everything from leadership to small unit tactics. And then not just the United States, so overseas you've got Grounded Curiosity and Central Blue, also, which have some founders, some members of the Military Writers Guild involved in building those platforms to give a voice to more people, to more writers. Others like Divergent Options, for instance, on the policy realm as well, providing some really interesting opportunities for people to write some policy papers and some policy ideas to get those out there in the discussion. And when we're talking about platforms, though, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Small Wars Journal and the work that Dave Delege did to kind of grow that website and grow that platform. Because if you talk to military writers, a lot of us who've written over the years will tell you their first article was often on Small Wars Journal. That was such a pivotal website over the last decade as we were fighting and learning and trying to kind of really work our way through this concept of insurgency and small wars, and really that platform gave an opportunity for a lot of authors, a lot of military, whether they're young lieutenants like I was, or young captains or majors, lieutenant colonels, to put an idea out there, to share it with others so that they could learn. We were sad to lose Dave recently, but we're glad to see that the Small Wars Journal as a platform will continue in that community that he's built. That mission that he had will continue, and it's one of the great things about these kinds of communities. Other members that you may have seen out there, there's some great books, Small Boats and Daring Men, written by B.J. Armstrong, who's also written some great work on Alfred Thayer Mann, William Sims, on tactics. We talk a lot about strategy, we talk a lot about war, but what's the theory behind tactics? And B.A. Friedman and Brent put together a great book on that. Heather Venable with another great book that just came out not too long ago, How the Few Became the Proud. Pauline Shanks-Corinth, one of our board members, has a book that just came out recently called On Obedience. Hopefully we'll get both of them and maybe some of the others as well on here. Also Ian Brown, A New Conception of War, another author. And then some edited volumes out there. So Nate Finney and Ty Mayfield, Redefining the Modern Military, some put together an anthology, really not an anthology, but a comprehensive book that looked at the profession and what it means to be a professional, and how we've defined that, and what that looks like going forward. Great book that several Military Writers Guild members. If you're interested in Mission Command, Don Vandergriff, a member of the Guild, has put together a couple of anthologies with some great writers and some great ideas shared. And another one that Randy Brown and Steve Leonard put together, really working with the Guild. This was a cooperative effort with the Guild, called Why We Write. And Why We Write, it's craft essays on writing war. So we've got over 60 authors in here that talk about their experiences, that talk about why it is they decided to write. Because we do this job, whether it's to teach or to be an analyst or to be in the military itself, we do it every day. To take the time to write and to share ideas. There's a motivation behind that. There's an experience behind that. And this is an opportunity to see from 60 different authors, 60 different experiences, right, about why they write. Because I think it's important as a guild to talk about that, to really start there, right? Start with why. But then the next question for the guild was how to, we've got the why. Let's talk about the how. And that's really where this On Writing series idea came from, is to get authors on to talk about the process. So when authors are out doing the book tours and the promotions, they talk a lot about the book. They talk a lot about the ideas in the book. They talk about a lot about, why you'll enjoy reading the book. And those are interesting. I enjoy this. But what we're trying to do with On Writing, and the reason we called it that, is we want it to be about the process. We want it to be about the experiences, because part of our goal as a Writers Guild is to help other people hone their craft, to help them share their ideas and to empower them. And the best way we can do that is to talk to some of these members that we've got that have put out some excellent books and say, how'd you do that? And really learn from their experiences. And we'll try to get a diverse set of groups. So we'll get some history writers, we'll get some science fiction writers, and maybe maybe we can convince some of these guys to come on and talk about their chapters and why we write as well. And then we've also got some books. I know there's a few books that I know Guild members have coming out in the very near future. And so we look forward to having those on as well to talk about what that process looked like. Was it, from the research to the writing? Are you an early morning writer? Do you write it out in pencil, or do you write it? Understanding how the different ways that people take their different experiences and then share them. I think it's going to be interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'll host some of them. We'll probably have some other members host others as well, because really it's about the guests, not the we'll we look forward to growing this series and getting on as many guests as we can for you to share how they do writing. But I'm really excited about the first guest we've got. So August Cole and Peter Singer wrote Ghost Fleet a few years ago. I'm sure you heard about it. If you haven't, check it out. Go back and find it. But they came out with a new one. Their latest book, Burn In. I'm sure you've seen it on social media. You've probably even seen the trailer. I think it's the first time of sitting there watching this trailer. And my wife's looking at me like, "What's that?" No, it's not a movie. It's a book. It's got a trailer. Those guys, it's a great book. I finished it a couple days ago. Very quickly read it over the weekend, because once you start, you're not going to want to put it down. And we're excited. I'm excited. We're going to have August Cole. So August Cole is going to come on. He's a member of the Guild. He had a chapter in Why We Write where they talk about why they wrote Ghost Fleet. And so I'm looking forward to then following that why up with the how and talking to him about the process and the writer and the writing. August wants to come on and talk about his experience over the last several years. So he made a decision about a decade ago to leave the position he was in and become a writer. And that's what he wanted to do. And that's who he wanted to be. I have no doubt that there have been some failures along that way. But I also know from Ghost Fleet and some of the other stuff, the other science fiction type stuff that he's written, that he's also found a way to be very successful. In fact, he kind of created some new genres of how to write about science fiction. And that's one of the things we're going to talk to him about, a science fiction book with footnotes. Really taking the science part seriously in science fiction. So hopefully we're looking forward to that. I encourage you to share this with people you think that might want to learn not only about how to write, but also learn from August about his experiences and about how they wrote the book Burn In, which has been published recently. We'll share some information, some links to it as well in the information here on this. I encourage you to please like the video. I got to do all this, social media stuff, right? Well, please like the video. Please tag somebody that you think will be interested, not only in this video, but more importantly, in joining us on Friday. So Friday, June 5th, 8 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, United States, 5 p.m. Pacific. For those of you in the other parts of the world, you're going to have to get up some strange hours or stay up really late, or how early, I don't know. But either way, you can join us. Grab a bourbon, grab an apple juice, grab a beer, whatever it is you prefer. Coffee if it's in the early morning for you somewhere. But join us. I would encourage you to join us Friday, June 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to do it live here on Facebook. We'll share some information going forward on Twitter and the Facebook accounts as well, so you can kind of make sure that please share. Let's get some folks in there. If you got some questions, there'll be an opportunity for you. Put those in the Facebook comments, or you can send them to us on this video as well. And we'll be sure to ask August when he comes on and joins us. So once again, look forward to talking to you. Really look forward to talking to August and sharing his experiences as a writer. Friday, June 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then. Thanks.